Hello, children. We'll be doing lesson number 10, The City of the Tobors, written by Jan Carew. The author was born in the year 1920 at Guana. He is a famous novelist, playwright, poet, and his famous novels are Black Midas and The Wild Ghost. This is a story about an imaginary situation which is happening after the Third World War. There are four main characters in this story, and the first one is Durf, his friends Mark and Nor, and other names and Tobors. The story begins like this. Durf was awake the whole night and thinking about how to get into the center. The next morning, Durf got ready to go to his work with his grey uniform. The Nems had no other clothes but the uniform. If one uniform got worn out, they would get a new uniform. Durf spoke to the door and it opened. He joined the other Nems going to work. Durf's workshop was on the fourth floor of the city. He took a lift. A Tobor was on duty at the door and was counting the workers. Durf joined the queue. The Tobor was counting 102, 103, 104 and then he stopped. Durf looked at the front of the queue and he saw a female Nem was holding a baby and the Tobor was not allowing her to take the baby in. Durf was very angry as the Tobor was cold as steel and he did not had any feelings, and Durf wanted to fight with the Tobor but he controlled his anger. Durf went to his workshop and was working on his computer, but he was only thinking about the way he could get to the center, and in this condition, he made a mistake while feeding the question to the computer that instead of asking how many rooms are needed in the city by the year 2080, he asked how. The computer got confused by the numerical number how many with the grammatical how and could not print the answer, and the lights went on and off and the computer printed a new instruction to Durf that it could not understand the question and it should be asked in a different way. Durf was very excited because he had never seen such a situation before. So he started to feed lots of silly questions into his computer like why, what, where, how, when, which, and the computer couldn't answer them. Finally, the lights went off and the computer printed its last message, which Durf read it. Computer breakdown, please repair. Durf was very happy and smiled to himself. Though Durf's victory was very small, it was a beginning. That night, Durf told the whole story to his friends Mark and Nor. His friends also worked on computers too, and now they could break down their computers also. Durf had decided that he would break the computer again if it was mended, and he asked his friends also to do the same. On seeing this, the other Nems may join them, and they could altogether break the whole workshop to a standstill. Mark was afraid stand still. Mark was afraid, but Durf explained him that if they act together and if three computers break down, they'll think it's a power failure and go to the center to find the breakdown. And then they could follow them. Nor's eyes were shining and he wanted to break the computer. The next day at 12 noon, the lunch pills were given out. Durf was too excited to swallow his, and at 1400 hours, that is 2 o'clock, was the 0 hour. That hour, they had all decided to break down the computer by asking silly questions one after the other. And the computer as the previous day. The computer worked hard, it clicked louder and louder, but no answer came. Durf asked another question that who were the Tobors? Durf knew that the question was forbidden, so the computer went wild and it flashed a red light and printed out the question that was not allowed. Durf could hear Mark and Nor's computers clicking and flashing in the next room. A Nem went over to Durf and asked him what was the question he had asked the computer. Durf cried out the others that it was a victory. The Tobos were on. Durf told him that he asked the computer. The Nem shouted to the other workers to ask the same ask their machines about the Tobors and they will not be able to answer this question. Everyone in the workshop followed and there was a total chaos. The Tobor who was on duty was helpless and the computers were breaking down all at once. The Tobor rang the alarm bell and the Tobors came, but they just stood there looking at each other in confusion. This was the first time it happened, so they were going to the center, and Duff, Nor, and Mark followed the Tobors secretly without being noticed by the Tobors. At last, they reached the center. The Tobors went in through a big silver door. The door was about to slide shut. The nymphs were quick enough to slip in. The center was a large room and had big computers all around it, and in the middle was a giant computer. Duff hated it as it was a hard thought this had to be the brain of the city. Duff ran towards the giant computer and pressed a button. The computer was now ready for questions. Who are Tobors? Yelled at it. A Tobor came from behind to kill Duff, but Tobor was very weak as he had lost some of his powers due to the computer breakdown. Duff kicked, struggled, and made a hole in Tobor's silver uniform and put his hand and opened a door in the Tobor's chest, and there were only wires. The Tobor could not walk and fell to his knees and crawled. Duff cried out to the others that it was a victory. The Tobors were only machines and they weren't gods, but they were only machines and they could be broken down. The cry went around the city and the nymphs stopped working and attacked the Tobors. The Tobors' power had gone working and attacked the Tobors. The Tobors' power had gone and the city belonged to the nymphs. Duff was the hero of the city and his people were free, but he was still curious to know that who were the Tobors and where did they come from and would they ever come back again. The giant computer was able to answer few more questions before it broke down completely. The giant computer told that robots were made by men and robots will never kill men, and the giant computer broke down completely. Duff understood that they were not nymphs but they were men, and Tobor is robot. He stood and looked at the computer and thought people had made robots to help them, but after the war, the robots had taken over the people and the people had become slaves of machines. This must never happen again. We must never let machines become more powerful than us, Duff said. We all must understand the role of technology in our lives because technology can be both good and bad and always use it in a constructive and better way. The PDF form of notes is being sent. Please copy down in your classwork book. I shall come back with a better story. Bye.